What's happening? Close your eyes, doesn't matter. Forget that. We're here to make a profit, not to change the economy. Okay? Now, moving on forward, we were looking at Aussie dollar. Sorry about that. We're looking at Aussie dollar. Is this an exhaustion? Or is this a pattern that you think the market will continue short? Okay? Good. Okay? It looks still short. No indication of slowing down. Because take a look. Look at the tail on the bottom. It's not that big compared to the tail on top. I mean, it's okay, but it's not strong like the others. So we have still short and support. Okay, so chances of Aussie dollar continuing short is still high. New Zealand dollar, let's take a look. New Zealand dollar, yes, bouncing off of resistance, still short, not an exhaustion. Same situation, still short, slowing, larger tail now, and support. Euro yen, let's take a look here. What do you have on euro yen? Oh, sorry. Now look at the strength of euro yen. Look at the size of that candle. Look at the size of that tail. Possible exhaustion. Okay, I'm not saying this is a confirmed exhaustion, but it's possible. Okay, it's a possible exhaustion plus support. It's bounced off of yesterday's support line. This is the extreme, and you can see absolute to the pip. It bounced, and now it's bounced like it's retracing. Okay, going to our pairs that go opposite. US dollar CAD. US dollar CAD strongly long. Is there resistance here? Are we at resistance on US dollar CAD anywhere? No. Take a look. No pivot lines at the current market that we're at. No pivot line yesterday. No pivot line day before yesterday. Long. Still long. Not slowing. No resistance. Okay? US dollar CAD is telling us that it still got steam. It still wants to keep going. It's not tired. Going up. US dollar Swiss franc. Okay. We have a different story here. Is this an exhaustion? Is this clear enough to tell you that the market's going to go short? Is this an exhaustion? Kenneth is saying, can you add or subtract 2 or 3 pips from the pivot lines because it's not exact? Of course you can. Of course you can. You can use a ballpark, and some of the pairs will eventually hit. The reason why we say ballpark is because every broker manipulates the price of the market slightly. Along with that, your pivot points are calculated at GMT plus 0, or the server time from the broker. Some brokers are at GMT plus 1, some brokers are GMT plus 2. So your pivot points are calculated, so they can be slightly off. But overall, you get the same idea, you get the same direction. Okay, you get to understand where the market's going. If you have any doubts, just go into fxpro.com, download their MetaTrader, and just use them. I've been using them for quite some time now, and no headache at all. By the way, if any of you guys are opening accounts with FX Pro, please use my link. We do get commission, and I provide all of these services for you guys because of that. So don't go and open an account without me. All right, now US dollar Swiss franc. Okay, it's heading long, right? It's heading long. It's resistance right there. Okay, it's almost at resistance. No indications of stopping, and a little bit of slowing. So still long. Resistance. Okay, it's pretty much at resistance. It's like only 2 pips away. FX Pro is not available for US customers. I'm so sorry, Shaw, about that. It's as of right now, it's not available. Okay, so what do we have now? What scenario do we have? Okay, take a look. Has the candle closed yet? There we have 3 minutes to go till the close of the hour. Has the candle closed yet? No, candles has not closed. Look at Euro USD. It's trying to push and close below the pivot. Look at pound. It's doing the same thing. It's pushing. Look at CAD. It's pushed all the way up to the next resistance. Swiss franc pushing above it. Aussie dollar still at resistance, support, I'm sorry. New Zealand dollar pushed below it. Now, what does this push mean? This push is excellent. Now you predict the future. Now let's sit here and predict the future. Now what is going to happen? Next candle opens up, for example, on New Zealand dollar. Let's say it opens up around here, right? A candle always has to retrace. John saying, what is the reason you go back 3 days worth of pivots? It has significance. Don't worry about the reasons why. It has strong significance. There's not much time for me to explain it because we are short on time, but it has significance. Don't worry about it. Take my word for it. Brian from Singapore, trend would continue. Okay, yeah. So if you open the candle at the next, right around here on the next, the next candle opens up here on this line. It first has to retrace. No candle sharply just goes in its favor. Let it do its dance. Let it go down and up and down and up. Doesn't matter. Once it goes up and it touches its nearest resistance, which is now, this has now become resistance if the candle is going to close below it. Okay? If this touches as resistance, then you take a look at all of your pairs and see, are the rest finished bouncing finished bouncing off of their support and resistance? If so, time to get a precision entry to take a short, because everything will go short. Okay, so 1 minute to go to candle close. We've done our we've done our analysis. Next candle's opening up. We know when the next candle opens up, we're not going to immediately take a trade. We have to wait. Take a look at pound. It's pushing below it, right? Wait. Just wait. 60 seconds to go. We've done our analysis and we still have a minute left. Grab a bottle of wine. Enjoy yourself. Okay, here we go. Next candle opened up. It's going down. This is the time people start freaking out and they start selling. You don't sell now, you wait. Okay? This can take maybe 10-15 minutes. Let the market do its dance. Because it's very rare that the top of a candle is flat on a trend continuation. This is a trend continuation pattern. It's telling you the market wants to go down short. It's very rare that the top is flat. It has to retrace. It has to give you a tail. So if it does give you a tail, now let's start predicting a little bit. If it does give you a tail, how big of a tail can it be? A few pips, right? Right here. You guys see that? How the tail can be like this big. Let's take a look at our other pairs. Okay? Here. If it moves up, our nearest resistance probably would be the low of this candle, where it bounced off from, because this has been bouncing, because it cannot go all the way top to this level, because that does not match with pound. This is too far. Pound only has a few pips while Euro USD is going too far. Impossible. Look for something closer. And this is something closer. And this makes more sense because now it agrees with what pound is trying to do too. Well, we have two pairs. We finish our analysis. Move on to the next pair. Okay. Where can US dollar CAD retrace to? Do you see any indications? Too much headache, too much work, too choppy. Leave it alone. Don't even look at it. Take a look at US dollar Swiss franc. Okay? Too close. We need a few pips like pound and the rest. Move it down. Take a look here. So we have some space here now. Also, it's the same space is the top of this candle, which is going to act as our resistance. Now, Aussie dollar. Okay? Now, before we go on to the rest, understand one thing. How big is this tail here? Is this tail big enough to tell you the market's going to continue north? This one that has the red arrow. Is it big enough to tell you the market's going to continue north? Yes, it is. How about the next one? Is this big enough to tell you that the market has so much pressure to continue going north? No. Now the tail got smaller on the bottom. And look on top. Look how big the tail is on top. It's telling you there's pressure on top. So your chances of this current candle that's running, that tail to be very long, the chances of that are slim. Because there is not much. For that to come all the way down till here and go back up and close means that's a big tail from here to here if we go to our next pivot line. That means the market has way too much pressure to go long. That's impossible. Because we know for a fact, based on our analysis, it cannot go that much. The market is coming to a halt. So, a little bit of retracement and we're good to go long. Okay, Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, it's on its way down. Okay, created a little tail on top. It's on its way down. Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Let's move on. New Zealand dollar. Okay, a few pips will be right around here. You can see how this level has been holding quite some time, plus it's the low of this place. It gives them a few pips. Euro yen. That thing no longer is an exhaustion. Became a trend continuation pattern. Few pips. Let's move it up a little bit. That would be its few pips. Okay, let's take a look at pound. That was our pair that we were watching, and Euro USD. Now it's just a waiting game. That's it. That's pretty much how you do your analysis. You wait for it. You know the market's heading south. How far it's going to head south? You can tell by these tails. If the tails are sharp enough, you know. This tail, big tail, right? You know the market's not going to go down short forever. The next candle opened up, but we had a anti-correlation, which tells you the market is halting temporarily. Wait for one candle to go up and then it continues short, and boom, you had a massive drop after that. Just think when you look at these pairs, just try to put the pieces together. Right now it may sound difficult, but as you put these together day by day for at least a month, I would say, it becomes instinct. You know, it's like driving, like I was telling in my conference room today. It becomes like driving. You know, when you first start driving, you pay attention to everything. You know, your left signal, your right signal, your speed, everything, how you're braking, how you're accelerating. But the moment you get used to it, you know, you're like watching a movie and text messaging while you're driving. You don't care about driving. You just do it naturally. So, Shaw, do you calculate how many pips to next pivot before you take your trade to make it worthwhile? Yes, that is always indication. But you can still take the trade if you know the trade's gonna go in your favor. If you know the direction, take it. Take those pips. Why waste them? Take them. Okay. When you do your analysis in this particular way, the chances of the trade going in your favor are quite high, quite high. Okay, so just go ahead and take the trade and they will go into your favor. Now, you will always know by your tails how strong the trade is going to be. If the tail is too big on the previous candle, you know the market's coming to a halt. It cannot go in a home run. But if you have patterns like these, like this one and this one, you know the market will continue. There is some strength, there is some steam left. Okay, and the market's gone. It did not retrace. It did not give us a precision entry. It did not retrace. That's fine. We know the direction of the market. It's still short. We already predicted that. It's still short. We're not worried about that. All we wanted is a better entry. Okay? You wait. Always be safe. Wait for the entry. Wait for the precision. Okay? So, we're going to wrap it up right now. Everyone understands what we've done so far. Okay, Mark Sanders, I have a forex watch.